Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains, but trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? Today is Monday, November 11th, 2024. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are Engineered to Win. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Today is Veterans Day, so I just want to say a big happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans out there who put their life on the line for us. Really appreciate you. You guys, keep us safe, keep us protected. So shout out to all of the veterans out there. Thank you so much for all that you do for our amazing country. All right, so you know what? Let me see what's going on over here, because I think my looks a little low. Make sure that my we don't have any interruptions while we're streaming. We are going to be getting to our news for today. This is Monday, so we're going to be reviewing our numbers. And but before we do that, do me a favor. If you have not done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live and drop new content. And you can check me out at techcoachralph.dev. We have exclusive content. We have free content there. We have tiered content. You can sign up for one-on-one coaching. So many different options that are available so that I can help you level up in this tech space as well as your career growth. All right. But with that being said, we are going to, by the way, almost forgot, tune in at noon on YouTube. I'm going to be releasing, or going to be premiering our Candid Conversations, where I'm going to share with you what I believe is the top skill that you need to make it to survive in the tech sector. But tune in and let's have a good time. I'll be in the comments to interact with you. But with that being said, let's jump in. Let me take a look at the comments real quick. We had some early comments that came in from my guy, Mr. Technique. Your car, you see, I knew that I was going to be wearing down your car with the music because he's singing now. He's singing in the chat before the show even gets started. With the trailer, he says, "It's my time to shine. It's my season to shine. No looking back. Let them burn." And then he says, "I'm going back to sleep." So, and he has an alarm on his phone for the show. So shout out to my guy, Yakar. Appreciate you so much for always being here. It's 4 a.m. He's on the West Coast. My guy's on the West Coast. So I appreciate you so so much. All right. So let's jump into our news for today. So we're going to start off with the numbers that we're going to be the numbers to watch for the week. All right. So our good friend Kate Chapman over at LinkedIn gave us the numbers to watch. So let's take a look. So inflation returns to center stage this week with a key gauge forecast to show stable price growth in October. The consumer price index is expected to have risen 2.6%, up slightly from 2.4% in September, according to the inflation nowcast from the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland. But excluding volatile items such as food, the gauge increased 3.3% last month, unchanged from September. Consumer price growth has been slowing since its 9.1% pandemic peak in 2022, a factor cited by the Federal Reserve in cutting interest rates for the second time since September last week. So yeah, last week the Feds cut the interest rate by a 25 basis points, so like a quarter of a percent. We are going to, so if we have the CPI coming out this week, we are going to be reviewing it on Saturday morning. We're going to continue working on our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data this coming Thursday night, and we'll be using that on Saturday morning to review all this information. But let's jump into what we're going to be reviewing on Saturday, okay? So Wednesday, November 13th, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the monthly consumer price index for October, which measures inflation through the price of goods and services. Thursday, November 14th, we have the Bureau of Labor Statistics releasing the Producer Price Index for October. The gauge measures the changes over time in prices charged by domestic producers for their output. The U.S. Department of Labor will release the initial jobless claims for the previous week. The report, a proxy for layoffs, tracks the number of people filing for unemployment. So pretty much people who are asking for help for the first time who have just recently been laid off. And then Friday, November 15th, we have the U.S. Commerce Department will release its retail sales report for October, which tracks demand for finished goods such as food, clothing, and furniture in store and online. So those are the numbers that we're going to be reviewing for the week on Saturday morning. Tune in as we use our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data so that we can break this down very, very easily. All right. So let's jump into the news, the top topics for this week. We're going to start off with voters across the United States rethink base pay. All right. So election day saw voters in half a dozen states weighing in on key changes to their wage laws. Alaskans voted to hike their minimum wage to $15 an hour by July 1st of 2027, while Missouri will do the same by early 2026. Both states will adjust the wage for inflation thereafter. As of Sunday morning, Californians looked poised to reject a proposal to raise their minimum wage to $18, the highest in the country. In Massachusetts, voters decided to keep the state minimum wage for tipped workers, while Arizonians said no to lowering theirs. So let me just make sure I understand this part about Arizona. So Massachusetts decided to keep their state's minimum wage for workers that are tipped, while Arizona said no to lowering their minimum wage for tip workers. Is that what they're saying? All I'm gonna say, right? When wages are artificially hiked, when this is totally my thoughts, my belief, right? When wages are artificially hiked by a third party entity, so i.e. the government, who is saying, all right, this is what the minimum wage can be, it can price people out of the market. People who would be wanting or willing to work for a lower wage are not able to, making them not being able to get certain jobs to actually build some experience. So that is basic economics from Thomas Sowell, I believe I got it from. But it's a tricky, the whole minimum wage thing can be some people think it's really helpful, but it can also hurt a good majority of people, especially teenagers, unless there's a provision that's saying that teenagers do not have to make $18 an hour, because it is hard for me seeing a teenager making $18 an hour working at McDonald's.
Let's move on.
And things like that. So that is my thought behind the whole matter, but we shall see. Usually when I see the minimum wage hike goes into effect, I see prices go up and I see people getting laid off. But I am not an economist by any means, but I do spend money in the economy, right? Let's continue on with our next article for today. Bitcoin hits $80,000 for the first time. Yep. So Bitcoin surged past 80,000 on Sunday, setting a new record following the decisive victory of President-elect, so former President and future President Donald J. Trump. He has promised to put the U.S. at the center of the digital asset industry, per Bloomberg, with the plan including a strategic national Bitcoin reserve. The prominent cryptocurrency, which is up 91% in 2024, which previously reached a record high in March amid enthusiasm over newly approved exchange-traded funds tied to Bitcoin. One analyst sees a golden era ahead of cryptocurrencies, with smaller coins seeing even bigger gains since the election. Meanwhile, stocks had their best week of the year. You know what? Let me just check not my Bitcoin, but let me check my crypto stuff real quick. What? I don't even remember the name of that. The name of the app for what is the name of that? Sheesh. It's been so long that I logged into this app. I don't even remember the name of it. Let me see. See, I don't even have it on. See, I got some a long time ago. I haven't even used it. I don't even remember the name. Let me see if I search for coin, maybe. Coinbase. That's the name of it. Totally forgot. Do I even know my login at this point? Let's see. Oh, all right. Let me see. Nothing too significant. That all sucks. It all sucks. All right. Anyways, let's move on. Let's forget all about that. All right. Let me see. So, here's the interesting thing about this, right? I remember when the whole Bitcoin and crypto and everything came out, it was supposed to be like for protection against government and stuff like that. But now, if government is embracing
let's move on.
if government is embracing crypto, doesn't that kind of like go against the original thought and process? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm missing something. But I thought the whole crypto thing was supposed to be like a protection against government. But if government is embracing it and people are excited about it, now I'm a little confused. But I must say I am not the most well versed at all in crypto. All right, I'm just saying. All right. All right, let's continue on with our next one for today. Salesforce is hiring 1,000 AI sellers. Yes, 1,000 AI sellers. So, Salesforce is hiring 1,000 salespeople to push Agentforce, its new artificial intelligence agent product. CEO Mark Benioff touted amazing momentum since the autonomous tool launched publicly last month, and he has no doubt wants that to continue. Agentforce, which is already being used by companies such as Saks and OpenTable, can provide customer support or sales development without human oversight. The relationship management platform's hiring spree raises the stake as it looks to dominate the AI agent space. Competitors such as Microsoft and ServiceNow have or are developing their own AI assistants. So keep this in mind, right? People keep saying that, AI is going to take our jobs. AI is going to take our jobs, which it definitely will take some jobs, right? But as we can see here, Salesforce is hiring 1,000 salespeople to push Agentforce. So there is a new opportunity. Like if people are going to be replaced, why can't AI sell itself, right? But they need 1,000 people to market this Agentforce that's going to help people help themselves, and then there's going to need to be support agents as well for Agentforce, who's going to be providing support. There's probably going to be configuration agents and stuff like that. People always are in fear of the whole AI market, and I'm like, you cannot fear technology. You need to embrace it, because if you fear it and the next person embraces it, they're going to get the position, and you're going to be on the outside looking in, and then you're going to be complaining and say, "Oh, my job has been taken away," instead of running towards the opportunity.
Let's move on.
running towards the opportunity so that you are not replaced by a robot, but you can play a influential role in controlling and directing the robot for success and the success of your customers. All right. That is my thought behind that. Let's continue. Returnless refunds are on the rise. What is going on over here? So, as online shopping becomes even more central to the economy, more consumers are taking advantage of online refunds or unwanted or defective merchandise, only to be told just keep it by the retailers. Oh, see, I was thinking about the other way around. I was thinking that people were saying they wanted to return their items for a refund, and then once they did that, like they actually didn't send the product back. But this is the opposite. The retailers are saying, all right, we'll give you your money back. However, we don't want the product. They don't like it as much as you do, apparently. They don't like the product as much as you do, apparently. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, so let's continue with the article. It says, with small ticket returns often cost inefficient to process, companies like Amazon and Target have quietly been issuing returnless refunds, refunding purchases without requiring the item to be shipped back and extending the policy to their third-party sellers as well. While convenient for consumers, the practice invites concerns about potential fraud. In 2023, U.S. shoppers returned $742 billion worth of products. That is a lot of money. That is like $750 billion in returns. That is a lot of money. But I mean, I get it in both ways that if you offer a return policy and you buy an item and it sucks to you or it is defective,
Okay, let's move on.
then you want to return it. But a lot of people, they just buy stuff to return it, or I don't know. I do see the potential for a lot of fraud because, like, if you know, like, what if you try this? Like, what if you buy something that you want, but you say, you know what, I'm going to return it in hopes that I get a returnless refund. And then you don't get a returnless refund, and now you're like, oh, let me just I do want to keep it, so let me just cancel it. But if you do get a returnless refund, then you end up getting to keep something that you should have paid for, But ethics nowadays is something to be desired. All right. Okay. So last article for today, which is not on LinkedIn. It is on. I think I might have saw it last week on LinkedIn, but it's not there anymore. So let's go to our last one. So this one is brought to us by CBS. And it says Canada shuts down TikTok's Canadian offices but allows app to remain. Right. So I heard about this last week, but I didn't look much into it because it was like crazy week last week. But it says Canada. Why are you on my screen? All right, there you go. Canada announced Wednesday it won't block access to the popular video sharing app TikTok, but it's ordering the dissolution of its Canadian business after a national security review of the Chinese company behind it. Why? All right, so first question, why would you allow the app to remain if you don't trust the company in, like, the actual company in your country, but you're going to allow the app? All right, I don't know. Anyways, Industry Minister Francois Philippe Champagne said it's meant to address risk related to ByteDance Ltd's establishment of TikTok Technology Canada Incorporated. The government is not blocking Canadians' access to TikTok application or their ability to create content. The decision to use a social media application or platform is a personal choice, Champagne said. Champagne said it's important for Canadians to adopt a good cybersecurity practices, including protecting their personal information. He said the dissolution order was made in accordance with the Investment Canada Act, which allows for the review of foreign investments that may harm Canada's national security. He said the decision was based on information and evidence collected over the course of the review and on the advice of Canada's security and intelligence community and other government partners. The TikTok spokesperson said the statement that the shutdown of Canadian offices will mean the loss of hundreds of local jobs. And that's something that I'm always worried about, loss of jobs, right? Because now, I don't know how many people there's employed in TikTok Canada, but I mean, getting like somebody losing their job because
Okay, let's move on.
here's my take on it, right? If you're going to shut down the office, share what the national security risk is. Let people know the details on why we're doing this. Why are we forcing you to lose your job? Instead of like, well, we're afraid. So like, just give people some detail like on why they have to lose their job. The same thing in the U.S., right? The same thing in the U.S. If you're going to be forcing people to lose their jobs, like especially, I'm pretty sure that TikTok employs thousands and thousands of people in the U.S. Like when you go on LinkedIn and you search for TikTok jobs in the U.S., there's like thousands, like maybe 3,000 that I saw open last time I checked. But if you're going to make those jobs unavailable to Canadians and Americans, then at least give them a reason. Like, what is the threat that you're protecting us from? Instead of saying, "Oh, we're protecting you from for your own good." We've seen how that's gone many times, right? So we will challenge this order in court. The spokesperson said. The TikTok platform will remain available for creators to find an audience, explore new interests, and for businesses to thrive. TikTok is widely popular with young people, but its Chinese ownership has raised fears that Beijing could use it to could is the key word, could use it to collect data on Western users or push pro-China narratives and misinformation. TikTok's owner ByteDance, a Chinese company that moved its headquarters to Singapore in 2020, TikTok faces intensifying scrutiny from Europe and America over security and data privacy. It comes as China and the West are locked in a wider tug of war over technology ranging from spy balloons to computer chips. Canada previously banned TikTok from all government-issued mobile devices. That's fair. TikTok why would somebody, why on any government device, right? Whether it's US, whether it's Canada, whether it's anywhere. Why even a company issued device, why would you have TikTok installed on there? That's a little weird that you'd have TikTok installed on a government issued mobile device, right? Anyways, TikTok has 2 offices in Canada, one in Toronto and one in Vancouver. Michael Jest, Canada Research Chair in Internet and E-commerce Law at the University of Ottawa, there we go, said in a blog post that blaming the company rather than the app may actually make matters worse since the risk associated with the app will remain, but the ability to hold the company accountable will be weakened. That's a good point. That is a good point, right? Canada's move comes a day after the election in the United States of Donald Trump. In June, Trump joined TikTok, a platform he once tried to ban while in the White House. It has about 170 million users in the US, all right? Australia plans world leading, so yeah, okay, that's a different article link. All right, so Trump tried to ban TikTok through an executive order that said the spread in the United States of mobile applications developed and owned by Chinese companies was a national security threat. The court blocked the action after TikTok sued. Both the US FBI and the Federal Communications Commission have warned that ByteDance could share user data such as browsing history, location, and biometric identifiers with Chinese governments. TikTok said it has never done that and would not if asked, until they put the CEO in jail, of course. You guys remember what happened to, what's his name, Jack Ma, the Alibaba CEO? Trump said earlier this year that he still believes TikTok posed a national security risk, but was opposed to banning it. current U.S. President Joe Biden signed legislation in April that would force ByteDance to sell the app to a U.S. company within a year or face a national ban. It's not clear whether the law will survive a legal challenge filed by TikTok or that ByteDance would agree to sell. All right, so that is the story about Canada blocking ByteDance. Let's get back to full screen. Cool. So that is our news for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the news. Let me check the chat real quick to see what we have going on. We have my guy, my brother, Darcel in the building. Welcome, Darcel. And we have my best friend in the whole entire world. We got my guy, Mitch, in the building. Good morning to you, Mitch. How are you doing on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning?
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, Mitch. Shake and we're shaking and we are baking, all right? So let's continue on with the show. Okay, we're gonna get into some mobile development. We've been struggle streaming our way through getting these tests written on our mobile app, but we don't miss. We continue to work through it. So let's go to, we have 20 minutes. All right, we'll run out these 20 minutes as we continue to work on this. Last week, what we ended up doing was we wrote an additional test in order to make sure that, you know what, something I don't like about this though, let me minimize this. Something I don't like about this is that I cannot run a particular individual test, which in other, I don't know if it's me, but I should just be able to run this one test right here. But apparently I cannot. Let me see. I should be able to though. Perfect time to do the grass, right? As we're streaming, someone wants to come and do the grass. You know, I should put a sign, no grass at this time. I should put my show schedule outside so they know to like just wait before we start doing the grass. I digress. Right? So, let's see. So we are looking at our tests. And so the issue that we're having is when we pass these tests through, that they are like, it's not updating it with the increments, right? So we're trying to update that. So let me see the test that we wrote this past, validate ability to input hours. So this is one that we wrote the other day, right? Validate ability to input hours and minutes into the increment input field. So we were able to get that test to run the other day. But the problem is now getting this to be passed into like the fields to be updated, right? So let's just run our test real quick so we can see where we're at. And we got Diggs BTW1 in the way, says, hey, what's up? What's up to you as well? Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I appreciate you.
All right, so let's continue with, so that test right there, validate ability to input hours, validate ability to input hours and minutes into increment input field, validate ability to increment button. So this one is a little different. So that's the one we're trying to work on the other day. So let's go to, so this one is just a copy of the existing one, but the issue that we had was being able to find that, being able to find the increment button. So what we were doing was we were trying to find that button, right? It's going to be a bit tricky. Let's see. So let's try to, all right, so let me see what's the best. Let's do this. Let's start this up actually. That way you can see what we're trying to do in the app. And for anybody who's new, they can actually see the app as well. I would really, really like to push this to the App Store, but let's be proper and get our testing underway. We have a bunch of tests that are failing because of the increments that we added. So now let's go over to start this. And the app is starting. So there goes the app. And we're trying to actually get this right here, right? Where we can find this button over here, but I don't quite know what is controlling that button. Or how, not what's controlling it, but how to find that button. Let's see. So let's do ability to use. All right. So what we want to do is, let me just write some notes over here, right? Let's say to do, and we're going to say click on the hours increment button. And let's say to do, click on the minutes increment button, right? And because the key is once you click here, we want this to be updated. So that's what we're checking for. So now we have, all right, so we have this key here. So we're finding this whole thing right here, right? So we need to be able to say, all right, once we find this, we also need to find that button, right? So let me minimize this for a second. And let's see how we're going to be able to figure this out. I have an idea. So let's go over to go to Google. We're gonna search for numbers increment Flutter. All right, so we have increment, decrement, and what I want to see is I want to see the GitHub repo for this library so that I can see how they're testing this stuff, right? I just gotta go to, let's see, we do that. Say GitHub. And let's go here. So this is the GitHub repo for the increment decrement. So if we go to the code, not that code, if we go to here, we go to tests. Oh, they use Golden in their tests actually. That's interesting. Let's look at their functionality test, right? So check default increment decrement functionality. So they have, see, and this actually, I just thought about this, right? And I don't know why this made me think about it, but in development as a whole, what happens if we actually check how the developers are testing their packages so that we can also be able to use that feature as well? So we can know how to test that feature. So look at this. Tap find by icon, icons dot arrow up. So this is kind of like what we need right here, right? And then expect to find widget with text form one, find one widget. And we can specify ours a little bit better, but this is kind of like, this is actually what we want, right? So we can actually try to do the same thing over here. Let's see what we can do. So we have this, right? So let me see what I can figure out with this, right? So if we are here, I'll be looking back and forth between the two. So let's look back, right? Let's take a look again real quick. So we have the material app, number with increment, decrement, controller, text editing controller, final default number, find widget with text 0. But we can use our key to do that. And then we're gonna say await tap find by icon. Find by icon. See, but the problem with this find by icon is going to find the first one. If I could specify that I wanted to, maybe we can do find by key and then icons in there. Find by icon. So let's say we do, now we'll go to Google again. Find, so Flutter, find icon within a key. So it says to place an icon within a key in Flutter, you simply wrap an icon widget with so Flutter widget test icon check. So I don't want to integration test, but widget with icon method. So all right, so let's see this one. Widget with icon method. Finder widget with icon type widget type. So tester tap find widget with icon button icon arrow forward. But I wanted to do find by key with icon. So let's play around with the code real quick then. Let's say we do. I don't think I need this one, to be honest with you. Or let's just we don't really need that. But for now, I'll just put it at 0, right? We'll just put it at 0. And we do. I don't want to do enter text. So let's say, let me just comment all of these out real quick. Or let me comment this one out first. And then if it works, we'll just delete it. We'll say await tester dot tap, and we'll say input total hours field dot let's see. So let me see. Go here. No. So let's try it with the way that they have it, right? So let's say find dot widget with icon, widget with image, widget with let's go widget with icon. I want to, so widget type would be a button. Widget type could be let's see if that's gonna work. Okay. All right, and then icon. So if we look back over here, and then we say icon dot arrow arrow. Where's my increment arrow? Arrow drop up. Okay. Let's see what happens with that. So tap find. But see, that's the thing is I want to specify. Let me see something. Let's say find, let me see. Is there a key option by key? Find by key. All right. So let's do this, right? If we do, let me just comment all this out, right? Let's just say we do all of this and it should be 1 over here, right? So let's just comment everything else out. Let's comment everything else out. Let's see what this test is going to do. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying, I don't even really need this part right here, but what we're doing is we're saying, all right, find the widget with the icon find the widget with the icon number input prefab, this one. And the icon is the arrow drop up button. And let me see what this does. Icon. So icon arrow drop up. And let's see what happens with that, right? And then we can see, so let's see if we can get this to work. And then let's see if we can make it better, right? So let's give that test a run real quick. And let me say a good morning to my guy, Telltale Woke. How is it going? How is it going on this amazing Monday morning? Happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans out there. Thank you guys so much for your service. Telltale Woke says, what's going on, people? What's going on with you? We got Alexis in the building. Good morning to you, Alexis. And we got my guy, me, Masify, in the building. Says good morning to me, Yakar, Mitch, and the chat. Good morning to you as well. Hopefully you're having an amazing morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning out here. All right, let's continue. Aside from them doing the grass right now. Anyways, let's continue. So, we are looking for validate the ability to use the increment button on hours spent field. Tap needs a single. So it's saying it's finding more than one because we have two. So it's kind of working, but not exactly the way that I would like it to. But if we do for the time being, if we say find widget and then we say like first, that should fix that one. I wonder if there's a second. Second. First. All right, let's do that. And let's run it again. And we have validate the ability to increment on the hours spent field. It says, a call to tap with Finder found one widget with the type input prefab that are ancestors to the widget with icon something, but ignoring all but first. The number prefab derive an offset that would not hit the test on the specified widget. Maybe the widget is actually off screen, or another widget is obscuring it, or the widget cannot be received. Okay, so it's finding it, but it's saying it can't tap it. So let's see if we can find our ability to scroll. We had to scroll before. So scroll until visible. Let's copy this one. And let's go to here and let's scroll until this is visible, actually. Let's do this. We can probably use that scroll until visible for the time being. So where does this one fall into place? List Finder, let's go up. Where do we define? All right, list finder. Let's take that and let's go back over here and we will throw in let's throw in our list finder right up here. And let's run that again. Let's see what happens. Ability to increment button on the hour spent field. It says same error. All right, let's see. So it's not that it's not finding it. It's finding it, but it is not on the screen. So, and we had this issue a while back, but this is progress. Let's see. So we have final list finder, scrollable, scroll until visible. I think I have this in there. Scrollable list finder. And let's make sure we have our test and pump.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
All right, it's about that time for us to get out of here. Let's see if we can make one last push to this. What did I have copied over here? We had, all right. Oh, we do have a pump and settle over here. Let's say a pump and settle over here. Yeah, so if we have a pump and settle after we scroll, and then we should be able to tap it, and then we should be able to pump and settle again. Let's see what happens with that one. Let's see, validate ability increment. Still having the same, so offset is 101 by 190. That would not hit. All right, so scrollable state. Number prefab. Dependency, scrollable scope, state, derived and offset. That would not hit. So maybe we need like a 200. Or maybe we need let's try 200. That would not hit the specified widget. Maybe the widget is actually off screen, or another widget is obscuring it, or the widget cannot be received pointers. So let's try that one more time. The finder corresponds to this render box. The hit test results in offset. Huh. So it's finding it, but it says it cannot click it. To silence this warning. Actually, it kind of found it. It says expected 1, but is it because that it can't click it though? Because it seems like it's not even clicking it in order to prefab. Controller text 1. A call to tap with finder found one widget with type that are ancestors of widget icon with, but ignoring all but first. The number input prefab, total hours spent on activity, dependency, scrollable number with decrement, increment state. Maybe the widget is actually off screen, or another widget is obscuring it. And that's why we need those screenshots, right? That's why we need those screenshots. But anyways, we're going to wrap it up for today. We're going to continue with this on Wednesday as we try to figure out how to get these tests to properly work. But it is a great learning experience. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Coffee and Kata Morning Show. It is always a pleasure having you here. Let me check the comments real quick before we head out. We have Alexa says you missed the party on Saturday. Oh. How was the party? And how was the competition, Alexis? How was the competition for your little ladies over there? It says, guess it wasn't a party if I wasn't there. Probably was just a get together. Oh, look at Mitch. But yep, that's it. So remember, we are going to be premiering at noon Eastern time today, the Candid Conversation. I'm going to be sharing with you what I believe is the #1 skill that you need to get into the tech space and to survive in the tech space as well. And then we're going to be going live tomorrow with Tech Q&A. And so with that being said, do me a favor on your way out, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live and drop new content, as well as go to techcoachrap.dev where you can sign up for free exclusive content. I uploaded last week the sprint review that we had, as well as a full Scrum night, and we're gonna have a really good one coming next week as well. So definitely want to check that out. And if you can sign up for one-on-one coaching as well, if you want to work with me, so that you can level up in your tech career as well as your technical skills. All right. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Tech Coach Ralph with another Coffee and Kata in the morning. We are out.
Tech Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains. But trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.